Hell, you guys are missing out on all of the little ins and outs of stuff banging and banging through all the achievements. Hello, everybody. This is Frogman, and welcome back to Engineer's Life 2, where we have gotten into the digital age of moving things around and playing around with refined storage, and we are going to continue that today because there are some things that we need to do. We really need to get a couple of things going, and I want to kind of test a couple of things today. So what I want to do today, and we're already going to kind of play with it right off, is I want to try to get into doing some more automations and some more redstoning that this system can do and kind of take care of some of the stuff. So in between episodes, as I stated, we were going to do a little bit more work up here, and that was mainly to get this thing kind of sort of automated. So I kind of made a nice little, really kind of very small automation for it, which is pretty simple, easy to do considering the fact that we have these simple storage networks still available to us. It's going to be one of those things we can always use. This is going to, probably from now on, going to be just our little interface between one machine to another when we have to do something like this, because of the fact that this is pipes for us. This is like, you know, this is item pipes, or, you know, whatever those kinds of things are. And it's going to work for us to be able to do things because it's sortable. So what I did in here again is we have a crafter pointed at a gold chest so that we have a decent amount of storage in case we have to make a whole lot of things, and mainly because we had 8 of these things. The crafter is then going to be able to say, whenever I need to craft one of these 2 recipes, which I haven't yet set up this one as far as those go, and we can for sure do that while we're standing here. So we need 1 piece of gold, and where is the silver? So we can just kind of see how this works while we're standing here. Man, I'm getting a little low on silver. I might have to go find some. Anyhow, so what we're going to do is we're going to tell the crafter to put both of these, any one of these recipes in here. So as like, say that recipe requires iron ingots and nether quartz. It's going to then put that amount of stuff in here. We're using a link cable to attach to the gold chests, which is then connected, of course, to the storage network route, so we know exactly what's going on. On one side, we have the ability to place in nether quartz. So let's see, at this point, we're going to do another alloy. So let's see, electrum. Electrum is an alloy of gold and silver. The things that show up in this slot are your additions, so they go on the, whatever you want to say this side of the machine is, the little bitty slots, the little 3 over here. These 4, or those 4 slots, are connected to this side of the machine, so silver will go in here. And on this side we have another, what is this, an export cable. We'll tell it to do gold on this side, and test, we can just do that, and it should fire up and go to work. And you can't really see the fire up there, but we should go. Cool. It'll pour it out. It'll immediately export it into this interface, and this interface is connected to the stuff downstairs so that we can kind of keep this clean and decent. And that way the things that we input into that immediately get stuck into the refined storage system, so we can actually kind of save a little bit of time. I also went ahead and smacked a crafter on top of this. I've yet to put anything in it, but this is what we're going to use when in case we need to grind up more something into something else. So that's there. And I have a crafter set up here on both of these 2 plate presses so that we can make plates and we can make wires. So currently only have the electrum ingots in there, where electrum wire in there. I need to do the steel and the copper, but for right now that was all I was really concerned about. And of course those will deliver back to this chest and then be imported back into the system. So simple, easy, doable stuff. We're kind of fiddling around with a couple other little projects, but I kind of want to mess first off with mass creating as much of this stuff as we can, because we still have to use it for the majority of what we need to do for refined storage. Almost every single thing that you make with refined storage requires the quartz enriched iron. So we're going to kind of fiddle around with that using those bees that we already got set up and a couple of toys. So these couple of toys are really fancy when it comes to playing around with refined storage. So let me see, I need one of those and one of those, and I think maybe a piston if we can do this. Let's see, yeah, I guess sticky piston will work. Do we have a lever? Lever, any old lever will be fine. Cool. So let's go out here and we can kind of find a spot to play around with this. What we're going to do is we're going to use 2 fairly simple, easy things to do when it comes to playing around with things like that, which is going to be constructors and deconstructors. These are automatic block placer breaker kind of things, but what they do is they're very easy to program. So if I put a block of iron down and I put a constructor on it and a destructor on the other side, and just for test's sake, we can place one of these down here like so with a lever so that it'll be able to push that into the way. Now, a constructor, basically what we can do with this on these ends of it is a constructor, I can tell it specifically, I want you to just only place down one thing. In exact mode, do not drop blocks instead of placing. I want you to place the blocks. So it's going to be able to take a block of iron out of the system, place it down in front of this, and then while the bees are capable of playing around with this, we can then say, this is not a constructor, I want a destructor. Hey, put this down, destructor. Same difference, go, wonderful. In here, you can notate quite a few different things of what you want it to do. So where we're at, what we're after is a block of quartz enriched iron. So if we turn that to a whitelist, pick up items instead of breaking. No, we're picking things up. That's all we care about. So what we can do here is, since I've got all those programmed, I can then do a system kind of like this that we can then kind of borrow a little bit of. That's not where that's at, but whatever, we'll do it about right there. It'll place a block of iron down. Now, if I take this and do that, it should break it and then place another block. So if we do that again, see what it's doing? It's perfect. Well, it's not perfect, but this is the kind of a thing that'll automatically do the work for us with those bees. So I got to tell it to stop. Quit. Thank you. Rule number one when doing things like this, make sure it doesn't accidentally get all of it. Cool. All right, cool. So if we take 5 of these and we embed them into the kind of the wall over there somehow so that we can get our bees into this area, I know it's kind of one of those I keep moving things over here, then they'll be able to transform the blocks of iron for us into quartz enriched iron over time and help to mitigate having to use up durability on those those electrodes in that furnace. So I'm going to take a nap and we're going to go build it. Okay, so we've got the general idea what I kind of want to do with these going on now. The next thing I want to do is I want to test a few things. So we're going to start messing with the ability to be able to extend things out across the network. Yes, I know I can run cable and I can run wherever I want to go all the way through this mess. Eventually, this room, this refined storage system is going to take place it's going to change a little bit. We're going to probably move the controller upstairs, and a lot of the other things will eventually make their way upstairs as well. But for now, what I want to do is I also want to play with something that we have yet to touch, and those are going to be network extenders. Network extenders, these dudes, network extenders and receivers and transmitters and all of these fun things. So the biggest problem with this, and I still don't know what's going on here, I think it's Immersive Engineering fooling with us, is that I think we can do this now. Thank you. I need one of those. This is a network card. Thank you. Program that, please. Beautiful. All right, so at least that can be programmed and put into something. Can we put this down here? I guess we'll just put you in here. Doesn't really matter where those go. Network extenders and receivers, or whatever you want to call these things, network kind of deals. This is basically a way for me to be able to wirelessly move the network from one point to another without having to do any major cable running. They're not ridiculously expensive aside from the fact that some of this stuff has been slightly modified, but we are going to at least use them for the first process, which is going to be, gosh, I wish I could just click that in. This is going to be painful. Let me see. So another right ingot is a thing in there that we can do. Can I at least get that to work? You will do this. Beautiful. And you will do this. Beautiful. All right, cool. So at least I don't have to do all the handcrafting that goes with that kind of stuff. So I still don't know why it's doing it. I haven't had time to look. We're just kind of playing as we go. So essentially what I want to do is I want to make a network transceiver, a network transmitter, a receiver transmitter, and a network card. So let's see if that's going to function without too much of a problem. So we'll do start on one of those. we're going to have to create a netherite ingot recipe. If you can spell correctly, thank you. This, go. And then you can go into here. I did make a crafter manager because it does definitely help to speed up a little bit of some of this as we go. So now let's see. Network. 1. Everything's there. Go. 2. Everything's there. And 1 of those. And then we give these a couple of seconds to craft. Thank you. Awesome. And ding, and ding, and ding. All right, so we can go ahead and reclaim those quests because I bet you they probably give us some cool stuff. Or not. Diamonds, you know, whatever. Awesome, cool. And those. Again, we'll take the black dye because black dye is something we're going to use. And a valuable shard. What do you do with this? Who the heck knows? Whatever. Probably some kind of something comes out of something else. We don't need to worry about it right now. All right, so we got our parts, we got our pieces. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here to where these bees are, and this is going to be a kind of a thing to just see how ugly this has been messed with. But what we can do is right on one side of here, we can just basically plunk these receivers, destructors kinds of things down so that they can kind of be able to attach to the blocks that are going to be on the inside. So what I want to do, at least right now, and I think that's going to be 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to dig this in the ground a little bit because I want to give them as much access to all sides of these as we can. So we're going to take the bottom line down here, and I'm going to say that we'll just say the destructors are down here, and I should be able to rotate those with the hammer. Yes, beautiful, awesome, cool, great, wonderful. And then we can program these with a block of enriched iron. Whitelist off. Let's see. This off. Well, all of those. Did I get that one? Nope, I didn't. And there, followed by the constructors, which I see we just saw one pop right in front of us. So it's reasonably quick. It's just not amazing. So it's not like something that you're going to be expecting it to continuously function all the time and make a massive amount of them, but I'm hoping that many bees in there will be able to at least transpose or transform those fairly quickly. So the next fun part about with this, I love it. Come on, speak. You can do this. Is I think I'm going to put the constructor, container, receiver. Let me see. Receiver, I believe, goes here. And then we should be able to take all that dirt and just kind of cover this hole back in a little bit for right now. And then we won't worry about it too much. All those should be programmed, so we need to take the network card and click it here. Is it this one? Or is it the other way around? Okay, we're linked. Good. Then we take this cable back. Linked is like if you look at the tooltip, we can see we've got it linked to such and so placing. Let's run this back over here, open the door, and I think I'll plunk these on the other side over here so we can kind of see things. Transmitter goes in, card goes in, 62 blocks. Now the problem with this is going to be paying attention to this to make sure that it doesn't use way too much energy. So those things they increase the usage of the energy on your network quite a bit, considering they have to do things. And it looks like we have replaced everything with iron blocks. Beautiful. So that means what I can do in here is not hurt my bees. And if I do this, amazing, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So essentially what will happen in here then is that as they transform these blocks into quartz enriched iron blocks, it'll be immediately broken and replaced with another iron block, and they'll have 5 of them, and there are, I forget how many in here right now. There's a good number of bees in here, so I'm hoping with that amount of bees, this will be reasonably decently fast. I don't know. We'll find out. It's going to be one of those we're just going to kind of play with it and see what happens. So cool. Got that done. That's what I wanted to get done for that portion of it. So the next thing I want to do is we're going to sort our inventory out real quick, put a few things away, and play with some more redstone. Okay, I think we got everything crafted that we need to do the work and do the things. So we're gonna fiddle around a little bit with making the refined storage system tell some other things how to be able to control some of the other parts of the base. Because for right now, for what it's worth, I mean, we have our steel factory over there building us or making us steel ingots, but I'm manually going over there and turning it on and off when I see fit. So granted, yeah, we've got almost 4,000 steel ingots. That's perfectly fine. But I want to try to at least have to mitigate that point. And plus, it'll also allow me to be able to kind of build up a control system that I can do from here, which is what we're going to start doing for a lot of this stuff on this wall. So like the copper, I need to get after some lead maybe, because this is how we make our batteries. The aluminum, I haven't hooked into the system yet. We need to go find something that'll make these, as well as some of these two. Like say the iron is another thing we're going to have to do. Redstone is also right outside, so it's not necessarily one of those things I'm concerned too much about, but we do have bees making that for us as well. So what I want to do is I want to kind of use a detector to tell us when we need to be able to turn something on and off based on how much steel ingots we have. And we're going to use some stuff from Gauges and Switches, which is the link receiver and link transmitter. These are wireless machines, or should say wireless things, that use an ender pearl. And I need to make sure I split these up so I don't screw them up. That when you link them with an ender pearl, they can be able to communicate over a kind of a short distance wirelessly. So link stuff here, link transfer, they're very cheap, which is kind of one of those things that's really nice to know about. They're very cheap, very easy to use. There are multiple flavors and styles. I mean, the one's a button, one's a comparator. The receivers, transmitters, they're, like I said, they're pretty cheap. The thing is, it costs you an ender pearl per link, and the links are fairly short. Plus, they're kind of fiddly to work with. So I hope I've actually figured this out well enough to make it work. So we're going to go upstairs because it's going to require us a little bit of messing around to make it work. So I think for right now, we're going to lay these detectors out right here. And I'm going to fiddle with a couple of different blocks to see what we can get pushed through. So you guys can kind of see this. Now, I've already kind of tested this a little bit off camera, but I'm still not exactly certain I've got these right. They're not the easiest things in the world to use, but since we have them, we're going to do it. So we're going to set it to emit a redstone signal when we have less than 4,000 steel ingots, and we should see the light turn on. We should see a redstone signal show up. The problem that I have, and this is going to be the funny thing, we can kind of mess with the transmitter, at least for right now. The problem that I have is this doesn't work with this block in any way, shape, or form. It is not currently receiving a redstone signal, and to prove that, we can show you by setting up the other end. So we'll put a asphalt concrete block down right here. We'll take a receiver, plop a receiver down, and then we'll build the link. We're going to go ahead and burn one of these real quick. So basically what you do is you're telling this, I want to target switch memorized here. So now we have this really fancy looking ender pearl. But I want to make sure that it says source output. Trigger as source output there. And if I go toss that pearl in that, it's now in this machine. It's connected to that one, or I should say machine. This end of the switch, it's connected to this one. But as you notice, the redstone here is not on. Uh-oh. Nope, there we go. Okay. World safe. Love it. It's not on. So if I do something like this, we'll notice it turns on because this is reading the block of air right here. It's capable of seeing this block of air, and it's working with that block of air. Now, if I break this and I place this on the wall and then put that back in there, notice the light is still not on, even though it's pointed at a block that's supposedly emitting a redstone signal. So I can even put it right next to it and put the thing in it. It's still not working. And I don't know whether placement matters. I think it places the same way. So the bad thing is I can't connect it directly to this line here. And this was something I was going to kind of fool with while I had you guys, because I know how to make it work. Let's grab one of these. I wanted to just see if I did this. Since this now has redstone coming out of it and a redstone link transmitter, put it on top with this in it. Put some of this on top so we can see. So yeah, it's definitely a finicky thing because it's not really reading the redstone the way I figured it would read the redstone, or at least this block should have a decent amount of redstone coming out of it. To the point we can probably even go so far as to do this and then really make sure it's got a full redstone signal coming out of it. Yep, don't do that. And put the block back in it. And it's not turning on. Now, if I do this and this, it should turn on. I don't understand why it's doing what it's doing. I kind of wanted to have a redstone lamp up here so I can kind of see whether or not it's working. But I think our basis idea is going to have to be something like this, and then I'll put the transmitter on top of it with the pearl in it and do this again, and it'll turn on. That's annoying as heck, and we're going to have to play around with this because what we're going to need to do is extend the signal by doing something kind of like this with another pearl and another, give me another block. Any kind of block, any kind of block. Where is my remote control? Remote control. Go, 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 go. Any kind of block, doesn't really matter. We're going to have to extend the signal. And I know this is going to get really annoying very quickly in order to be able to make this work. I'm to the point I might actually go and just run cables. Source change, source output, bang. So you notice how it's not changing, but if I do that. Come on. Seriously? The block obviously has redstone on it. Obviously. There it goes. Okay. Initial source all the way over to there. So I'm going to have to set up something like this between here and the steel to get it to work. So let's do, I'm going to leave you alone. We're going to take this with us. And we're going to take this with us. The reason why I know this isn't going to work is because one of these, the one that's in here, is not going to be very happy with us. So give me this. Come here. Thank you. Transmitter. And I am going to go ahead and just throw both of those away because we have a full amount of various things. And let's see. I need a one of these here. Give me 2 more ender pearls because it's not like we have a bunch of them. So we're going to run out here. I'm going to run out here. And I'm going to place one down where I think it's probably going to function. I want to try to see if we can at least maybe get to the corner of the building right here. Maybe like right there. Is that going to make me be able to see what's going on? Let's just do this. We'll place it out here for right now so we can kind of get an idea. The fiddling around that you have to do with some stuff is always a magical, wonderful thing. So, switch link receiver, I will place you on this side. The other transmitter I'm going to put right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this. Make sure it says source output. And then we'll run it back in here and see if we can convince that to turn on from there. No, you don't like that. Okay, well, I'm going to move it, and then we'll be back. All right, so we got one working. Let's turn this off. Turn this back on so it should be functional. And that's how you know it's working. It's got the little green light on it going on. So we got it over there. Let's run downstairs and go see where it ended up. The unfortunate thing is now I wish I had a button that I can use to kind of flip back and forth, but I went ahead and stuck it right here because that's as close as it could get. So if I put a redstone dust on top of that, we should see 2 signals working. Very good. So awesome. Let's see. What I want to do in here then is I want to, did I bring my stuff? I did. Good. I want to place the thing kind of right above this area, like right there actually. So let's see. Right, like this. And then I want to do the redstone wire connectors. Oh, please don't break. God dang it. I knew that was going to happen. All right, so we're going to have to put it over here and over here. And I'm going to hope that this is going to work. Give me my pots back. It's getting dark. But redstone wire... Now, we could just take two of those two little transmitters if we felt like it and hook both of them up, but I'm going to kind of save on parts doing it this way. Plus, I like the wires. All right, where is my screwdriver? Screwdriver. Come here. You go in there for now. Did I hook it back up? I didn't. Whoop, nope. Give us back this. Here, let's do this so we can kind of avoid doing things. I know there should be a few things over here, but I don't want to accidentally get eaten. All right, so then all I got to do here is input on white. That's perfectly fine. And we'll do an output and an output there. And then all I should need to do here is, shoot, I need to go get another freaking ender pearl. Hang on. All right, so ender pearl. Hopefully this is going to work. So you... Again, source output. And then socket it into that. And then I'm going to run over here and unplug all of it. And hopefully this will work. I don't know. We're going to find out. So I really don't feel like running all that cable all the way over there. I mean, we can, but it's... I'd much rather do it something simple and easy. So you do that. You turn on... You run over here. I should see a redstone signal up there. I do. And we should be pumping stuff into this. I guess I need to go this direction. I'm doing a great job. And you should be functional. Awesome. So those should shut off if I go over there and toggle that off, or once it processes most of that kind of stuff. So, all right, cool. That is exactly what I wanted to achieve today for two different things. We've got our network receivers set up for at least partial of this little thing over here so those bees can actually start doing us some good. Finally. And we have the ability to do some more stuff. So in between, again, I'm probably going to do a whole lot more automation because I think we're probably going to start giving up a little bit on doing any more of the high, noisy critters. I think very soon I'm going to kind of just work through the rest of this. There's not a whole lot much more important in here. I mean, we've got our upgrades and we've got our things and security managers and all those kinds of stuff. I think pretty soon what we need to start actually working on is going to be this chapter in here. We need to start working on Peaceful Atom because I think Peaceful Atom is going to allow us to be able to get a few more power things going up and maybe help with our power problems because, again, we're kind of running everything on diesel right now, and, well, those generators are not all the greatest in the world. So I guess for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.